No camera.
Doesn't turn the camera on.
Okay.
And
All right. Am I
Jimmy,
there?
we lost your camera.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh well. Yeah, we did. I'm not sure what happened, but also, am I back now, or am I on now?
Give it
I
a
don't see you.
no.
Let me see what's going on with this quickly. My cam, window capture. My capture's correct. My
And now
cam.
we lost someone in. Never mind.
There we go. I just restarted it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sometimes you have to just turn it on and off, but not sure why mine's.
Remember to mute yourself in the room, Jimmy.
Let me see.
You don't echo.
I'll meet you. It's fine. All right, gotcha. All right, I'll meet you. Yeah. All right. Now why isn't mine on? What did I do wrong?
Oh, I see you now. You just popped
There
up
you
in
go.
the bottom right.
Okay. Whatever. I don't know what took so long, but there's a delay, I guess. Technical issues, you know.
Missing Jimmy on Twitch, but he's in the room. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
Whatever. It'll probably take some time to update. I think that's what happens. It takes some time to update, I think.
Fair.
That's probably why it's guessing, but whatever. All right, so yeah.
I'm here. That's all that matters.
I mean, really, we get to see your face. I mean, no one's really relevant. So, all right. So yeah. All right. So back to what we were saying before. Yeah. So, yeah. So you guys get on the. So you guys, to recap, yeah, you guys go back to the Classic Cavern. You meet up, with people there, and you get some stuff. So first you get a quest from Ordrin. Take his daughter Haley and her uncle and AK's brother, Rapone. When you first met him, he was kind of just watching you guys as you were talking to her, because she was talking to her to help her. To, like I said, she was getting you guys information so you could be recorded for and get things prepared for the arena fight. He was watching you guys to make sure everything's going off fine. So he's kind of protective of her, it looks like. And he looks very much the same, or very, very close to Ordrin in terms of appearance. So just otherwise, basically, yeah, you guys got the quest to basically the whole purpose of your quest essentially is that they asked you to go to a place called the Fortress of Frost. What happened was there's an area there of true cold, and in the special areas in the plane of ice, they are essentially so cold and so like pure in terms of magic that they can damage any creatures that are immune to ice by default at least. So you guys are immune to ice by making the ice because of your Willow Islands item, and every creature essentially that lives here is immune to ice by default. Basically, if you don't immune to ice, you basically can't survive here because it's just you basically get frozen in place if you're not. So it's just it's pretty bad. You don't want to come here if you don't immune to ice. The plains in general are not really great places for people to visit.
Yeah.
So, but you guys can because of your items you have, the Willow Elements that it's gifted to you as part of the tournament. So you guys go there to take care of the stuff because basically the air true cold has been waning for whatever reason. You're not sure why, and basically you're going to be going there to fix it. So that's part of her job, Haley and Rapone. They are there to go fix it, and it's part of her initiation process to become essentially like an adult, or because they're considered like an adult, or because they're like her rite of passage. So it's they're pretty harsh here, in general. Playing up ice is not exactly a friendly, happy place. Their people there are burdened with an incredible responsibility of taking care of basically the area around them and making sure that the creatures that are frozen in place don't awaken. They can call them basically the old ones, the creatures that have been there, who iced up for who knows how long, and if freed, basically go crazy and attack things. Not necessarily go crazy, but they usually attack things. So they tend to not want to let them get them frozen. So their burden, their responsibility in life essentially is to make sure that they're taken care of, that the creatures don't get unfrozen and wreak havoc everywhere, because they will definitely leave not just this plane, destroy all the other planes as well probably. Before you left, you bought some stuff like you got some Arctic bear meat, got some crafting materials, you got some I forgot what the serum. Okay, you got the ice wreath now, which is essentially like a object they use to like sheath metal essentially the metal they make, because they make it's a little weird here. Instead of making with fire, they use it. They're essentially cold to like to create the things. It's very much opposite of what you're used to. Especially, I know Risk was not. I was very surprised. Let's see. Oh yeah. And then you went on your way. You went all the way. You started going all to the fortress. On the way, you went through a bunch of forests. You went to a couple forests. You saw some crystals that were like ice crystals essentially that were lined up that had some spirits of people that places they used to live, and you had some. You saw like another place to essentially an ice like a lake essentially that was kind of frozen over essentially, and you were able to press. But every single place you were able to get past without any really issue. You're able to use your skills, transfer that trice, all sorts of other magic, and you're just generally being smart about things, and you guys made it past everything without actually getting attacked or anything. Closest thing was the end. You got seen by some bears, but you're able to escape in time. So that's it. Then you made to the place. Sorry, you made it to the place, and you finally you had to defend Rapone and Haley from a bunch of waves of monsters that were coming out, including a hag that was kind of directing them. So
I almost died.
Yep. Yeah, you went from full health to 0 to almost back up to full health again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm alive! Like, no, bitch!
Mostly
Right, you're
alive.
dead? Good!
Yeah. So eventually you guys were able to really fight. It took a while, but not that long in real time. It took like maybe 50 minutes, but they were busy
Right.
working on their stuff and to fix the true cold. And then when they're in their bubble, essentially, there was like you guys created this kind of barrier around them by using the statues nearby to like create a barrier and electrify it. So you guys, you made the statues to do that.
Yeah, if we didn't do that, then things would have gone awry very quickly.
Probably yes. Like there was one of the creatures that we were facing went on bird on the ground to try to murder them, and you guys, and instead of murdering them, he bumped into a barrier that also electrified and got shocked, so he took a bunch of damage.
And everything Aunt's mama got stuck in the plant growth.
Pretty much all the creatures were pissed at you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna remove the plant growth now or you're gonna leave it as like.
I actually can't unsnap it because it's not a concentration.
It's a permanent fixture unless
Yeah.
it's burned away.
Oh god. You ruined this place.
Well, it'll eventually freeze over and break.
Okay.
If it hasn't already. Which makes it even twice as hard to get through because now it's like a frozen ice garden.
Yep.
Well, I guess you try
I
to burn
just
it away.
added some decorations to decor the temple.
Sure. I guess you can burn it away with your fire if you want to. So you have like 4 or 5 minutes left probably. They said the ritual will take an hour to do.
Yeah, but
So it's up to you
I
guys.
can only make things go pew pew fire, and that's just gonna take a while. So nah.
Okay, that's up to you guys. But yeah, so you basically have like 4 or 5 minutes to do whatever you want to do before they finish the ritual. So all you do is it says you see them basically inside the barrier. Like you can't see much inside; it's still obscured by like mist for the most part.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of confused about my health. Like your healing, buddy, basically put me back to full health. Correct? That's why I'm back.
I think you were like a couple of hit points short, but you were like really close to full health.
Okay.
Yeah, because I basically burnt my entire set of charges from the healing spirit directly on you. So
Okay. Because I basically don't have. I have like one spell slot left, and it's like first level, second level's done, but I'm at full health. Which is like that doesn't seem right. But
yeah, I think that is actually correct though, because I burnt I think like I burnt all of my second and third level spells. I've only got a single fourth level and a couple of firsts.
Oh. Something random comes out, I'm just going to use it for shield or just cure wounds on somebody. We'll see what happens.
Well, give it a hug.
Give it a hug.
Yeah, Van. Gordon, once he'll wait a couple of minutes to make sure nothing else is coming out of the woodwork, but once it seems like the coast is clear, he's going to suggest to a group that we start dismantling these creatures we killed, and probably like search the hag corpse.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I'll help with the investigation on the hag. Actually, how good's your investigation, Gordon?
Mine is, it's not god awful, but it's not great.
I got plus 10.
I've
Oh.
got +1, so.
Okay. you can assist me for advantage then.
Yeah, something you have, for
Well, I don't actually have it trained, so I'm not sure if I can assist you with it.
Yeah, so technically speaking, you're supposed only
Oh, I'll get people who
if
are
you're
proficient.
proficient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Reason I'm at plus 10 is because I'm expertise.
gotcha. How about this? Gordon will eventually work his way through the plants. He'll tap you on the shoulder and
Well-
he'll give you guidance,
Okay.
so you get an
Okay.
extra D4.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll do that now. Loot the body.
It's
Yeah.
busy your Lubai check investigation.
Thank God for God.
Unless
Okay, that works.
maybe Cryptar might have investigation.
Yeah, I have
You
a
have-
plus 5 in investigation.
Oh,
Do you-
you're
do have
Are
a-
you trained
black,
in it though?
You have a black dot next to investigation.
I have a black dot?
Yes.
Yes. Do
Oh,
you
I-
have one next to?
I'll tell you right now. I have a black dot, yes. And
Okay, that means you're
history,
proficient.
Insight, intimidation, and investigation are all black dots.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. And Carcata in athletics.
And can I have him and help me to get
And dexterity,
advantage?
and arcana, and athletics.
Cool. That's a lot. But yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I can help you then. So,
Okay,
I'll roll advantage with D4. So yeah, that's a small.
Okay,
roll.
that's already better. 18
Okay.
for investigation.
Okay. And you're investigating, you said the hag or just the corpse in general, I guess?
Yeah, just mostly just looting the hag just
Okay.
to see if she has anything on. I'm gonna leave it to Gordon, actually
Well-
harvest investigate spot.
Yep.
Okay. So she has some decent stuff. Nothing particularly amazing, I guess, but like she has some money on her first of all, because creatures have money on them for some reason. This is how it is. Or the land that we live in.
This random wolf just happened to have a bar of platinum for some reason.
And a wallet with its picture of its family in it.
Yes. Unfortunately, so.
And it was its son's birthday today.
All right, so she has something interesting. She has something called the Iron Bands of Binding on her. So it's a magic item. It basically lets you like clamp on someone and creates like a magical, it's like a manacle essentially. Think about it. It has a magical manacle that prevents people from moving essentially. So if you look for Iron Bands of Binding, I'll type it. You can add that to your inventory.
I will take that. That will be very useful for a bounty hunter.
Yep.
And it's iron bands of bindings.
Yep. I'll type right now. Iron Bands of Binding, and you also get 100 plat
Found it.
off her.
Damn.
She's rich.
Yep.
Platinum.
For whatever reason, she's rich.
She was a rich witch.
Indeed.
You said 100 platinum?
100, yes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, she wasn't exactly this. Like, she was at the end of the wave, so if you didn't get to the end of the wave,
Ow.
then you wouldn't have. Or if you didn't to take care of her, you wouldn't have gotten it. So, you got it.
Mhm.
And then also, so you get off her specifically, and then all the creatures you can get a bunch of like. Other creatures don't have much; they have mostly just like materials to harvest. So there are a lot of creatures you faced. You faced like the Remoras, which is like a weird like. I'll actually link it because it'd be easier to see. I'll do more often in general. I'll send links to what things look like and other things. Like you get a better idea what they look like. So that's just my explanation. It also helps you
This
to
is
look.
basically all the iron bands are basically manners from Critical Role. Mercy.
I guess they're similar. Yeah, I guess they are supposed to be similar. If I understand. So
Okay, that makes sense now.
that's. This is the gnolls you faced. They were the first wave. Yeah, the gnolls are pretty undead looking, so they're not gonna have much on them. They mostly have bones and stuff, so you can't really get any meat off the gnolls that you killed because they were withered. But yeah, there's that. There's the bird-like creatures you faced. When is it?
And there was the big Yeti as well.
Oh, that doesn't help you. That picture doesn't help. Sorry. But they think of it as I can't. Unfortunately, the picture doesn't have a picture, so I guess I'll just. It'll be like just a bird. Basically, it's a ice looking bird, like an eagle essentially. Think of it as a bald eagle you killed. Okay.
Well, I mean, we have to get him off the endangered species list somehow.
Sure, and some of them are hawks too. So some are bigger and smaller than others, but yeah, but it's a bunch of birds. They have those ones do have meat on them, so you can harvest the meat off them, get some nice like meat to take back to the place if you want to eat or to make whatever you want with it. That's most of it. Yeah, so like I said, you can get mostly bones off of the gnolls, meat and stuff off the birds, and the hag had that stuff. The Roars also has a bunch of meat and stuff, kind of more exotic stuff. It's those like spines on the sides. You can take the spines off if you want. You can take one of its many legs if you want to. So you take spines off the back. Yeah.
How big are its legs?
They're not that big. This is a smaller one, so it's not huge. But I think it's probably like maybe a foot long. So it's still not super small.
Okay, we could probably fit it in the back of holding then.
Okay, so you take a bunch of like Remora's legs and spines and spikes or whatever.
Gordon will ask Renan if he's proficient at dismantling things, because I mainly cook stuff. I don't usually procure the ingredients this way myself. So
So dismantling? No.
yeah,
Would that be survival or?
Yeah, probably survival. Survival, nature. Survival's probably the best thing with that. 'Cause nature's more like identifying it, and survival will be more.
Oh yeah, I am
nature.
definitely. Oh yeah, I have nature and survival. So yes, Gordon, I am very good at harvesting and getting the meat from the bones, filleting, if you will.
sounds good. I'll leave the bigger creatures to you. Then I'll just work on getting some bones or claws off the gnolls. Then,
So-
since I've got some skill with it, but I'm not exactly
I'll-
specially trained.
I'll let you keep track of these specific like animal parts you have. I'm just gonna put in harvested animal parts in the bag of holding. Like, how much weight am I like carrying basically in the bag? So I keep track of that.
If I remember right, a bag can hold up to 500 pounds of
500.
weight.
Right,
Yeah.
and I'm at 75.5 pounds.
Okay.
All my other stuff included. So
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
I carry forest materials and tools, so those are pretty hefty.
Yeah, I can carry a moderate amount of weight as well. I'm not like crazy strong or anything, but like I can probably handle like the bones from the gnolls if we just want to make sure the
I just need to know so I can like put the weight down for the thing. So like rough estimate, how many do you think? Like 30 pounds, give or take?
let's see how much we get with our
Yeah,
rolls.
like-
Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So do your survival, please.
Okay,
Yep.
and I'll give myself
Because-
guidance.
Because when you're done, I'm also gonna want to look at the giant centipede creature because I just want to see if like can I like harvest its carapace for like armor parts? Like could I
Oh, yeah.
use it to like forge something?
Yeah, it's got a harder armor. It's not super tough because you say as during the fight, it's got a pretty low armor class actually, but like it still has spikes and stuff, so it's not really the best defensively. But if you want spikes, if you want like looks cool spiky armor, then that's good for that. All right, Gordon's 7 and
It's a 10 because I have guide. I just
Okay.
wait a bit for Risk to finish up his stuff, and I guidance myself up.
Yes,
Okay.
mine was 19.
okay, so you're 19, got it. Yes, okay, and also as usual, you guys have inspiration beginning of everything. So.
I'm not super interested in burning on just gnolls, so
Yeah,
I'll
fair enough.
stick with the 10.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. You guys killed like 12 gnolls, so there's a lot of gnolls to take care of.
Yeah.
So and they all have a bunch of bones each, and that's pretty much a lot of what they're made of. So even with a roll of 10, you can get a lot of bones if you want. You can probably get up to like I don't know, like 50 pounds of bones if you really want to. Like
I probably wouldn't take that much. Probably like in neighborhood of like 30 to 40.
Okay.
I'd be mainly focusing on stuff that either seems like it could be used by Risk for crafting, or like claws or teeth, because I know there's actually markets for that.
yeah, like there could basically you'd probably guess that, like these creatures are basically like kind of like not necessarily undead, but they're like kind of haggard essentially. They're kind of somewhat undeadish. So it's not really the best in terms of like density, but like you can
Yeah,
still,
I would probably like be very particular about like what parts I would want for hard, for, like actual like craft. Like, does these seem like hardier than like just basic metal? Like, does it seem like I could get something extra out of these things, or could it like add an extra like
Element to
quality
something.
element to something?
So for the gnoll specifically, it wouldn't be helpful magically for crafting anything useful for much, except for like maybe some very minor things like I mean you can use it to like craft some basic things if you want to like craft like a flute or something out of the bones. But like in terms of anything like particularly useful outside that stuff, not really. You could probably use it mostly for the gnoll stuff would probably be most useful for like stews and stuff like that, or like putting in like soups.
I was about to say, yeah, if you want it just for like stews and stuff like that, then yeah, go nuts. But don't get any extra on my behalf if it's not going to add any extra oomph for what I want to do.
Yeah, so
Gordon gives you a thumbs up as he chucks a skull over his shoulder.
And I just hold the bag open. It's like,
So yeah, so that's the gnolls. So the gnolls, like I said, and the birds you can probably get like you can get a bunch of meat off of them. Not like a huge amount because birds generally don't have a lot of meat on them, but and there weren't that many birds. But like basically like 10 pounds of bird meat essentially. So like you
okay.
can basically put like 10 pounds of bird meat. Well, they birds just make it easier, but they're basically equivalent of like hawks or eagles. But yeah, so they can also like it's mostly useful again for like any of the birds were not really magically oriented for the most part, even though so they some things that were kind of interesting, but yeah, they're mostly mostly for food stuff again. And then The Remoras, though, the giant centipede-looking weird creature with the giant eyes, that one has a bunch of stuff in it. And with your 19 Renan, that means you can get a lot of things off of it. So you can get like a ton of, like you'll be able to peel off like as much as you want. Essentially, you can peel off basically. Survival with 5 flesh X is more about like how much basically usable material you get off them. So like while you're crafting stuff and while you're cleaning it off, essentially how much of it do you actually break, how much of it is like usable by your skill essentially. So you're able to get like almost as much as you want essentially out of it as you want. So you can get like all the spikes, you want all the legs, you can get the spines on the sides, you can get like the antenna things, but eyes, whatever you want, and mandibles.
I basically go on the direction of Gordon, whatever he needs.
So,
yeah, Gordon will specifically point out the for the big centipede guy, the fangs, the a couple of legs, and the eyes, if possible. And then he'll motion to Risk for the various like carapace chunks that he's interested in.
okay.
Well, I would probably like. Would it be like an investigation or survival? Like, what would I do just like to determine, like, is this even worth
Okay, for
my
you,
time as a
yeah, for you,
crafter?
for you, investigation, yeah. So
Okay.
he's cleaned himself off now, so now you can investigate and see like what you want to actually keep that you think is actually magically warranted or not magical, but like,
Oh,
could
damn.
be useful for like purpose.
27.
Oh God, really? What the hell? He said.
I got a plus 10.
You'd
I
hacker.
rolled a
Yep.
17.
Hacks. Okay. All right, fine. Take it. You're an investigator, so you're a bounty hunter, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So
And
yeah.
I'm a crafter, so it's like, of course I'm going to be able to know shit.
Yep.
Mm.
All right. Yeah, you can get a bunch of like useful stuff for like not just like food stuff, but like I said, the stuff food stuff that would be useful for Gordon,
Gordon.
but like
Oh,
but stuff like
what
used
do
for
you like-
your.
If I want to make armor out of it, would it give me like a +1 or something like that if I use this as a material? Like, what
So
could it give me?
the
in
armor
terms of,
itself
like-
is not particularly like tough. Like unfortunately, the armor class is kind of low. Like relative to only 14 armor class actually, but you can't use it to make like you can't use the spikes and stuff to like basically add onto things. So you can add essentially onto armor. So if people attack you, they can get pierced back essentially.
Well, not even so much like armor, could like make weapons out of it as well.
Oh yeah. You can you can also use stuff to essentially to you can use it to add on stuff to basically increase the power of
Like-
items you have, weapons stuff like that to like essentially add like an equivalent +1. You know, so
Okay.
so you can add spikes, spines, and stuff like that for that purpose.
Probably. Like, so I could either like make a brand new weapon, or I could like buff an already existing.
Exactly,
weapon.
yes.
Okay. Which I'm guessing if I want to buff something, I wouldn't need as much material as I would if I wanted to make a brand new thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So
I'll probably use it to buff my dagger to a +1 later.
okay, yeah. And you also sell it too if you want, just because it's still it's a very unusual creature, Remoras. You know they're not exactly common, and they're very dangerous in general. Like this creature was pretty strong, you know, but you're able to take out a lot of the fight for a lot of because of plant growth and then the burrowing, and then of course, like I said, it got electrocuted. So it didn't actually do much in the fight, but normally they're pretty dangerous, and they're also unusual because they are immune to they're resistant to ice and fire as well. So the normal stuff. So it's kind of odd.
Okay.
And a creature, ice plane being immune to fire or resistant to fire is pretty unusual as well. So you can also have the add property essentially. If you take like the carapace, you can also add like a property of resistance to fire essentially to things.
But well, the will of elements doesn't give us resistance. It just means we don't get affected by it, right? Like it just makes us neutral to these elements.
Kind of. What it does is that
Oh.
what it does is in the plane you're in, it makes you allow it to survive in that plane. So basically, in the plane of ice, you actually become immune to ice temporarily, at least normal ice. This area is a little special because there's true cold here, which makes it pierce the ice immunity. But
Like any like somebody actually throwing cold damage at us isn't going to be like, oh, we're resistant to it. It's just going to be normal damage to us regardless.
no.
But if I
Well, in this plane, you're basically immune to ice or cold damage, but once you get out of the plane, then you'll take normal damage. So, but if you have this, if you have this carapace,
got
essentially, you
it.
can use it to like buff something to make it buff item or armor piece or something to make it give you resistance to ice or fire.
got it.
Unless you do really well. Then if you do really well with your check, you'd be like buff both, but like most likely it'd end up being one or the other.
We got
What's the-
inspiration and magic for days once we get napping us. So
And what's the centipede things called? Just so I can know what.
Oh,
else it is.
Remoras. I'll type it. It's a O-R-A-Z. Here. Ramores.
Okay.
And one final thing, Vane, Gordon's also definitely interested in dismantling the Wendigo.
Oh yeah. Okay, I forgot that. You're right. Correct that. The Yeti. That's right. When the Yeti's and Wendigos, yeah, that's right. There also is that too. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff out there. It's interesting because it's got a lot of meat. It's pretty up, but like a lot of creatures you might imagine in an ice plane also have a good amount of fat. But you get the fat's useful too for fat's useful for cooking. It's useful for a lot of things. So but it's also very muscular too. So it's got a ton of meat and fat on it. And then also you take like the teeth and stuff. It's not particularly powerful in terms of like it has claws stuff you can use, but like it's not like super. They're not magically oriented at all. That's about the way.
Gotcha.
Oh, sorry, I just wanted to also ask for the spikes and carapace, like aside from the ones that Renan already took for himself, how much would I have been able to get?
Oh, from the Remoras?
Yeah,
Okay. I'll say you can
'cause I know
get.
he was already harvesting, so I was basically getting whatever he didn't get, which is, it seems like it was a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it was to be shared, so
Okay,
So it's a lot. You can get probably like he rolled really well, and he didn't break anything for the most part. It broke very little, and in almost all was harvested successfully. You can get like probably like up to like 15 spines, like 20 spikes, and like I think it's like 10 legs. Yeah, 10 legs I think. Or sorry, 20 legs. It's 10 sets of legs.
so yeah, that's between you and Gordon.
Yeah, figure out what you want to do with that.
so 15 spines, 20 spikes, and what for carapace?
Like carapace would probably be like let's say like maybe 30 pounds of carapace. So it's pretty heavy, the carapace itself. And
It was like 15 pounds of spines, 20 pounds of spine. Like that's what you mean? Or
oh
like
no, sorry, I meant like,
actual.
sorry, I was going off the number of the actual numbers of them, but the actual weight, right, would be
Oh.
different ways. Let's see, it's not that heavy, but like if you want to add them together, let's say you get all the stuff, you probably like let's say the creature itself weighs right around like 200 pounds something, or probably 200 300 pounds.
Probably got about 50 pounds of stuff off of him.
Yeah, so we get like 50 pounds of stuff. So because in this case also, this creature is a small version. This is a
Right.
younger Ramirez. So
And besides the spikes, oh, you said there was like legs as well.
yeah, they're like 10 sets of legs. So if you want 20 legs, you can get that off them too.
I was wondering for the Yeti, can I actually get the fur,
Yeah,
Loves
The-
out of those.
the hide and the fur?
yeah, you can use a firehand for DS, right? You can harvest some amount of fur off of them too. It's nice and soft, and it's surprisingly soft given the harsh land you're in general. But it's kind of nice. Feels like it's not as soft as like chinchilla or something, but it's pretty soft.
Risk, would you be able to hold this for me? As so,
His wrist just has the bag out, like, okay, shovel it in.
Like, yeah, it's like hold this. Okay, me with my 8 strength, I'll hold something.
Yeah.
oh, I thought it was the bag of holding.
No,
it.
that's back of the whole thing.
Yeah,
It's fine. He's-
no, I know what you meant.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put the Yeti's eyeball in there too. There you go.
Okay. Thanks. It's helpful. Yeah, I'll post a link to that too. That's what it looks like.
Maybe I'll make a nice or coat or rug.
There you go.
If you want, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I just want to go to Icarus, and I want to just thank him for giving me that fly spell during the combat. But and I also I want to ask him if he's okay because he seems a little bit stoic.
He responds. Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's honest to you. Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's doing well.
All right.
So,
Thanks for that. It helped a lot to traverse the field with all these damn vines in the way.
he just points at his head and taps it.
Thanks.
He seems for some reason he seems less talkative now. You're not sure why.
Sorry, what thing were you having me add to the bag of holding there, Renan?
Basically, as much of the fur I could harvest in large pieces, so that it could either be turned into a coat or a rug later.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
That's the Yeti fur.
Yep.
Okay.
And as while we're harvesting as well, I want to just make some. I want to come up to you, Risk. I just want to let you. I was thinking this pitchfork I've had. Normally I don't use it in combat, but it seems a little bit unwieldy. It's a little bit heavy for my stature. So I was wondering if maybe you could take some of the stuff that you've harvest here or found in this plane and kind of make it a little bit more lighter, agile. So basically,
We got a shit ton of spikes and legs. I can make you an awesome pitchfork out of this bug's body.
all right. Thank you.
Also, how much Yeti fur am I putting in the bag?
Oh god, I'd say fur wise, we'll say like probably, there's two of them too. I forgot about that. There's two of them actually too. I completely forgot. So it actually would end up being like probably like fur is pretty heavy, I think. So we'll do another like 30 pounds of that.
3.
Never to be seen again.
Yeah, never to be seen again.
All
Oh.
I'm picturing is sometime later, there's a magical malfunction. The bag of holding gets inverted, and it's just like Skyrim, where it's just loads and loads of inventory just rolling down a hill.
Pretty much. And if I really wanted to mess with somebody's day, just basically put 2 bag of holdings in one thing.
Oh yeah,
I
it's risky.
So that's where my Smallville DVD is. That's
Hey, you never know. It might get cold somewhere, and we have to all get under the fur and cuddle.
That's right. Hey,
Keep the iron bands of biting on my person rather than the bag, because I don't want that shit getting fucked up in case, now that we're talking about like the bag potentially becoming a vortex bomb.
Vortex bomb of bones and Yeti fur.
sure.
there you go.
Vian, roughly how long does it take for us to do all this dismantling?
It'll probably take you a while. So we'll say, let's say it takes like half an hour to like 45 minutes. So say basically by the time you finish, roughly the people are going to come out of the barrier, if that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Unless you say,
Yeah,
unless
if they
you wanna-
basically like looked over, they're just seeing us like just going lift the leg up so I can peel away the bones. What the fuck are they doing?
Are we just covered in blood and guts?
Well, it's up to you guys. Yeah, if you have precipitation in your collapse, you can clean yourself off. But if not, then yeah,
I
you'll
don't
probably,
have prestidigitation. Anybody else have prestidigitation?
Nope.
I'm aware of.
Yeah,
No,
dude,
not
well, you should probably try to melt some of the ice, like to like make water, and then you can throw the water yourself. But like,
Yeah, Goran will snap his fingers and create a bonfire in the corner of the room and under like one of the large icicles. And that way it'll start melting and eventually create water.
one interesting also when you do that is like when you melt the ice, it does turn to water. But after it basically the water it turns to water and you take the water out, you see that the area essentially that was in basically reforms as ice reforms all over that boss.
It just goes from above down to just going up. It reverses positions.
Yeah. So, yeah, because in the plain ice, usually everything is frozen over that I can. So, basically, you have a limited time essentially when things are melted to use it. Otherwise, it becomes ice again. So, you can use
Makes me
it.
think of like the Dragon Ball Z World Star. It's like I used fire, melted it. That just made more ice. Figure that one out.
Sure. Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to do before we get to the finishing of where they get out of their bubble?
I think that basically covers it unless somebody's really low on HP. I could toss in a few healing spells.
Really not.
You get all pretty close to full. I think the person hurt is Renan. Renan's down 46. He's down 22 health. Looks like on my screen.
I was gonna
Okay.
say it's like 46. Like that's not that.
Yeah. yeah. That's 22 health.
I mean, it's more HP than some of you guys have normal.
Yeah.
That's true.
I've got a little bit left in the tank if you need some healing over there, Renan.
Save it unless we're gonna rest.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, then I guess if you guys are done, then basically the barrier slowly disappears around, and inside you see two figures, Haley and Rapone. Only Haley is standing there unhurt. She seems, but she's standing over the body of Rapone, who's lying on the ground, and unmoving. And then she kind of like looks distraught, and she looks to you guys and asks you, Says, I don't think you guys can help me, but Rapone here has passed away.
The hell? How did he get injured? He was inside the bubble.
Quickly go up to it, like spare the dying. Does it do anything?
How long does Spare Dying last? Oh, what is the thing on it? Sorry.
Basically, I touch a living creature that has 0 hit points. The creature becomes stable. The spell has no effect on undead or constructs. So basically, if they're dead, it doesn't work. But if they're just like unconscious
yeah.
at 0,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
would stabilize. them.
Okay. Unfortunately, he seems to be not breathing, and he is not.
Gordon will rush over there. How long ago did he perish?
Probably like 10 minutes or so. Unfortunately, I couldn't get out of the barrier in time. It's just, I don't think there's anything you guys can do, but I have to ask in case.
Is this part of the ritual? Is it a risk of the ritual?
She looks like very unhappy, but yeah, she's like, we didn't want to tell you this, but one of the ways to take care of this, to restore the cone, the area of cold to cold, is someone must use a source, part of their life force essentially. And Rapone, he knew he was kind of like getting on there, like not really so much age-wise, he's not that old, but he's done this a number of times, and this probably took the last of it out of him. I knew he was already hurt from the previous ones, but I did not think that this would be the end for him. Like, my father probably knew. It's probably why he asked Rapone to come and be here. He's, he does what's best for the community, but this is ridiculous. This is just tragic for lose someone we both love, and just to do what, we protected our place, we've restored the area, but for how long? Like, how long can we do this for? We've been sitting in this land for I don't know how many hundreds of years, and like, it's just sad that good people have to die to protect this place. Like,
I want to do an insight check on her.
Same.
Is this legit, or is she just?
Or did she just secretly try and get away with murder? So, yeah.
15.
okay,
18.
both good rolls for sure. She seems honest. She seems like she's pretty honest about, like, I mean, it's not hard. It'd be hard to tell for sure because you don't know if she's lying about the custom specifically. You can't tell that for sure. Where her
Does she give the impression like she actively killed this guy, or did
Yeah, that's the main thing.
No, she seems like she is honestly distraught, and that she's not. But she kind of looked like she had an idea something like this might happen, like that. This could be the last for him. Like, and she didn't tell you guys for sure. She definitely didn't tell you guys all about the ritual, what it entails, what the risks were. All she told you essentially was that basically. So she didn't have any information to really. But like, it didn't like she did anything to cause it. It looked like it was just part of.
But it's like I could have at least, if I was in there, I could have done like spare the dying. Okay, you're healed. Like,
I mean, you could have. That's true.
Okay,
But
you're not gonna die.
But you also wouldn't have been available for the fight, which would have been.
True, but. Like,
Yeah.
do I know, like, could I have, like, gone in and out of that barrier? Like, does it, like, prevent anybody from getting in?
No, prevent anyone from getting in, essentially. You'd have to break the barrier to get in. Or you have to deactivate statues, which would also break statues. So there's no way to, like, turn on and off quickly. It basically turn on, stays on for, like, a certain amount of time, and then it goes off.
Okay.
There's no, like, on and off switch, essentially. You just turn on. There's no light switch.
Gordon's great to speak up. We currently don't have the power to do anything for your uncle, but I remember there was a mention of a temple, a church kind of thing in your city. If we could transport the body back there, would they be able to restore him for you?
They could not restore him, but what we can do is, and what I will do with his body is dead. But what we do, and one of our people's things, is, in the temple, you'll see this in the temple if you go back there. Inside are the spirits, essentially, of many of our ancestors. So, in this case, Rapone, he has died, his body is gone, but she shows you like a kind of like a vessel she has, like a jar almost, and it's like glowing with energy, essentially. And we kind of take the spirits of our ancestors, like a bit of their mind that's left over, and it's sometimes as part of the ritual is to watch essentially one of our people die, and you take one of their spirit, part of the spirit, back home to the temple, and that the spirit can communicate with us like in limited fashion and guide us on our way. So like our people have the oral tradition essentially of many hundreds of years of our people, of our ancestors teaching us how to survive here, how to get by, and to comfort us if necessary as well. So unfortunately, his body, there's no help for him. But like, we can take back his spirit and somewhat his essence, and we can put that into essentially the Tranquil Times Temple, and he can live on essentially in that way to help us and be there to some extent, at least. It's not the same, obviously, as being alive, but he's not truly gone. That keeps us going.
Can I check the uncle's pockets?
So while you guys talking, have a hardcore conversation of tragedy, of loss.
Yeah, it's like
Krivdar.
focus on us, and he just.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you doing it sneakily, or are you doing it in kind of open?
Just like
So what do I do? Sleight of hand or something like that?
Well, it depends. Are you doing it sneakily, or are you doing it kind of like you're just kind of walking up to him to take it, or are you just like doing it like behind her back, something kind of
Like,
thing?
no. Keep talking. I'm gonna check his pockets.
Yeah, exactly. They're talking. They're not listening to me.
Okay, so you're basically walking
I
behind
mean,
her.
like, are you basically like making it obvious you're doing this, or are you
Yeah.
trying to hide that you're doing this?
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about, it's a sad moment.
No,
so
are you trying to be sneaky about this?
Yeah,
Yes
that's
or
all.
no?
I was curious. Are you walking in front of her and then doing it, or are you like
I'm
walking
not
behind
paying
her?
that much attention, but sure, I could be sneaky about it. Sure.
Okay. All right. So you walk up behind her. Can you do a stealth check?
A self check.
Stealth. Sorry. Stealth. Sorry. I didn't pronounce the T for some reason. I didn't pronounce the T for some reason. Stealth.
Okay, stealth it is.
Yeah. Stealth.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Wow.
All right. You make plenty of noise right, as you're walking. The ice cracking under your feet, and you're just bouncing up and down and it's very clearly that. So she notices you immediately.
Trying to move his arm that's his already rigor mortis set in because he's an ice person.
Yeah.
He's like, yep, he's dead.
It cracks all behind you. Just cracks loud, unnecessarily loud cracks.
So I'm gonna do a religion check if I can, and just pretend that I'm just checking it for religious reasons.
Well, that's not so. That's not religion. That's more like deception. I guess you're trying to say. Okay, so if you can't roll deception.
Okay, deception. Sure.
Yeah, you're probably better at that anyways. But it makes more sense. You're trying to deceive potentially that you're
Also,
trying.
remember, you do have inspiration, so if you wanted to,
I got a 3.
Oh my God! Damn it!
another natural one.
Krivdar's like, yeah, God's forsaken him.
Okay,
Alright.
I'm just gonna walk away now.
I just did that one again.
I'm just gonna walk away.
Oh God, Krivdar, it's not your day, man. Jimmy, it's not your day. Sorry.
You're like the power of Christ compels you to give me your pockets. Why won't you give me your pockets? Why won't you answer me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm walking away.
So yeah,
It's not to me.
she's like, please don't do that. I don't know what you're trying to do. Please don't desecrate
Yeah,
the dead.
we're all just dumbfounded, just watching him do this, just silent.
He
Yeah.
literally just passed away. Please show some respect for the dead.
Gordon was going to attempt to say something to try and mitigate this, but he's just so dumbfounded by what he just saw Krivdar do that he can't muster
Not
the
only are you
words for
just
it.
doing it, but it's like you're not even good at it.
Well, get bad luck. What can you do? All right. Well, so that's that. Okay. It's like, well, so.
And you do know you had inspiration. You could just re-roll, but it's like at this point I don't want you
I mean,
to.
he rolled 2 ones in a
Yeah,
row, so
that's-
you never know. He could roll
Yeah.
another one. Who knows?
How do we roll it?
His luck is just not good today.
Yeah.
That happens.
Used it all
Like, the gods
headbutting gargoyles
really-
earlier.
Like the gods of stealth and any other gods just didn't want you to do anything to this guy, apparently.
Yeah. Sorry. I guess that's the sign. That's not going to work. So, all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
Like-
walk away.
Like, all right,